What was your thoughts on tonight's fake eviction and who did you vote to put into the secret room? Also, what do you think of the returning housemates? Big Brother UK 2025 episode 18. Richard was in the diary room practising his loud voice. He's not much of a shouter, is he? I mean, if I was in that house for weeks on a basic budget, you would hear me shout for my dried mushrooms. Which they probably wouldn't get me because they're like £4 a pack. Okay, so what's your thoughts on the whole shopping list situation? Because Caroline's been going on about doing the shopping list now for a few episodes, and originally she said in front of Richard that she was going to sabotage it. So then she was telling Jenny that she was planning on doing the shopping list, and Jenny turned around to Zila and like, oh, Caroline's doing the shopping list, like basically grassing on her. And Zila was like, oh, Faye Shola's not going to be too happy. And why does that matter? Keep in mind that I don't even really like Caroline that much, but Zila says, oh, we'll all do it together, and Caroline says, well, we haven't all done it together before, and he says, oh, but we've got a system. Is that system not including Caroline, because she clearly doesn't know what the system is? Now, even though we've seen her mention that she wanted to do the shopping list several times, she's probably said it many more times than that we've not seen. When Big Brother asked them to go to the diary room, Zila went and got the shopping list, knowing fine well that she wanted to do it, and then he was like, oh, get Faye Shola, get like whoever else, and didn't even say get Caroline. And she was just sitting in the bedroom like, what the fuck? And honestly, I thought it was really out of order. What I will say about Caroline is she was in the diary room talking about the other housemates, and she was saying, oh, they're really overconfident for their age. Like, I would never have spoke to an older person the way they speak to me. But that really fucking annoys me. I've been making videos about Big Brother for a few years now, and I make videos about other shows, and people will say, oh, you can't say that about that person, she's only 20, or you shouldn't say that about that person, she's 70. I don't give a fuck. If a person is an adult, they will get treated equally. I don't care if they're younger, I don't care if they're older, it's even all the way. Now, to be fair, every now and then a younger person will do something and I'll just be like, right, okay, you do stupid shit when you're young, right? Most of us do stupid shit when we're young. But what I can't stand is if an older person says something racist or discriminates against transgender people, just as an example, and people will go, oh, but they're old. Times were different. Well, fucking times are different now. Snap out of it. I'm willing to accept that young people make mistakes, but they're going to be treated the same as everybody else. And for her to say, oh, I never would have spoke to an older person like that when I was young, that's a you problem. One of the things that's annoying me about Caroline is obviously she's immune for 2 weeks, so now she's being cocky, she's trying to wind people up, right? And the other night when she was saying stuff to Elsa to wind her up about like things not being invented when she was young, that was funny, right? That was like innocent fun. But she's been seen a few times now deliberately winding people up or saying, oh, I want to shake things up. Like, it's as if she's going out her way to make people miserable and she gets joy out of that, and it's fucking bizarre. I get that there's nothing to do in there and she must be bored, but at what point do you think, oh, do you know what, I think I'm just going to make everybody in the house miserable? Even Marcus was in the diary room complaining about her, and he says, oh, it's maybe took it a longer time for her to annoy me, but she's so theatrical at times. But let me know what you think about like Zila going and getting the shopping list and not even shouting on her and not even involving her, knowing fine well that she wanted to do it. When Faye Shola was in the diary room reading out the shopping list, she asked for brown hair dye by accident, right? And Big Brother was like, oh, who's that for? But when she was ordering the hair dye, she said 3 light blondes. That's not really how hair dye works. You're talking like nice and easy, shade 1.2 with a toner or whatever. It's not just, oh, fuck some light blonde on and hope for the best. So when Big Brother says, oh, you've spent like 700 and something pound, you've still got this left, she was saying, oh, 2 more packets of crisps, 2 more packets of Quavers, and she was adding small things on. Ada says another box of Walkers, another box of Quavers, another 8 litres of juice, another 24 eggs. Why was she adding on individual packs? Although, to be fair, if it was me, I would have said, oh, I've got 200 and something pound left. Give me 8 litres of red cola and spend the rest on American Golden Grahams for B&M's and dried mushrooms. And possibly some eggs, because I live for the poached egg. Cameron was in the diary room talking about Nancy or Sam possibly being evicted, and he's so adorable. Because he was saying, oh, Sam says he's going to take me to a gay bar, and I've never been to a gay bar, and that sounds fun, and I can't wait, and I really hope Sam takes him to this gay bar, right? And then he says, oh, I'll probably miss Nancy. Nancy voted for him because she thinks he's boring. I just think he's so adorable. And the other night on Leighton Live, the night that I was on, they were interviewing Cameron's mum, and she was just so nice. She was so cute, and I just love him. Zira, Faye, Shola, Jenny, and some other people were in the hot tub, and Zira and Faye Shola were having some like flirty banter. Now, I would say that is flirty banter, like friendly. Because on Leighton Live, some people were saying, oh, I wouldn't flirt with my friends. But there's some friends that you just flirt with, but like, it doesn't mean anything. So they were talking about sharing a bed or something, and he says, oh, stop drilling. And then Jenny was like, oh, I don't like the way you were looking at each other. If I was your girlfriend, you'd be single, right? And while I agree on her calling it out, I think that she could have went about it a different way. I'm not exactly a subtle person, right, but I would have said, oh, does your girlfriend, like, not mind you flirting with girls? Or I would have just have mentioned it, like, in that kind of way. So Faye Shola was like, oh shit, I've overstepped the mark. And she went into the house and she was saying to Tasia, like, I just stepped away because I don't want to cause any problems. So we're just thinking, right, okay, it's nothing, it's meaningless. But then on Leighton Live, they showed a clip of Caroline speaking to Faye Shola and saying, oh, there's like a love between you and Zila. And she says, oh, they were really good friends. And she says, no, I think there's more than that. And she says, no, he's got a girlfriend. And she says, I bet if he didn't. And then Faye Shola was like, oh, if he didn't, like 100%. Now, that's not us hearing Zila's side of the story. But, you know, Faye Shola fancies Zila, right? Who doesn't? I mean, let's be real. It was time for the fake eviction, and I have to be honest with you here. I voted for Nancy. But the only reason I voted for Nancy is because my brother says it would cause more drama, and he wanted her to go in, and I wasn't even really that bothered. But it ended up being Sam, and Nancy was devastated because she was 100% ready to go. But see, when they said Sam, it wasn't even like, Sam, you have been evicted, please leave the Big Brother house. They just said Sam, and he's sitting there like, Sam what? Like, if I to go, if I to stay? But then when he got to the door, and he seen that the screen said it's a fake eviction, I was actually quite emotional because he was shaking, and I was glad that he got put into the room. Now, I don't have pictures of them yet because I forgot to look them up, but Emily and Freya went into the secret room. Now, I can't be too judgmental on Emily because we've only seen her for like 5 seconds, right? She may actually end up being alright, and she says she likes Cameron. And Freya, well, I don't really like Freya, but at least we'll have some half decent outfits to look at. And when I was on Leighton Live the other day, I was talking to the producer, and she was saying to me, like, who would you like to see back in the house? And see, when somebody's out the house, I forget they exist, right? But I was kind of thinking maybe Days. But she says, oh, what about Freya or Zach? And I says, oh, like, a lot of people are saying it's going to be Freya because our Twitter's deactivated now. And she went, oh, is it? I don't know anything about that. And I was like, I think you do. And you know what? It's not even as if I'm like, oh my god, Emily's in, right? Because she might end up being nice. We all know that I've got a track record of moaning about the Tories going into the house, and then they end up my favourite people, okay? I don't know what it is. It's like a personality disorder I've got. But Sam, Emily and Freya are going to be stirring up some shit in the house and watching what goes on. But let me know in the comments what you thought of tonight's episode. Did the right person go into the secret house, and what did you think of the returning housemate? Big Brother's not on tomorrow. But if I end up not doing anything, do you know what? See, when I go home from work, I'm going to go live. And I don't care if there's only one person sitting watching me, I'm going to go live and talk about Big Brother so far. So maybe I'll see you then. Bye.